Welcome to Module 2, How to Study for Your Real Estate Exam. Now, when I was studying for my real estate exam, I did it in lots of different places. The world was open, and so I could go to the library, I could do it at home, sometimes I went to my nanny's house. I would go wherever I could be not distracted. I didn't want anyone to walk in when I was studying because I wanted to really focus. So here's a few tips for you that might be helpful, that were helpful for me. So I prepared like a study pack, meaning in my backpack I had everything I needed to study. I had notebooks to write things down, I had flashcards to make. The actual art of writing things down really connects things from your hand to your brain. I've found in this world how I really can get things to stick in my brain. So there are flashcards that you can get online and you can print them so you can, easily go through it. But the act of writing it down actually solidifies it in your brain. So that would be something I would remind you to do with those flashcards. So again, you're building your pack, your study pack in a backpack. So you have your notebooks, you have your flashcards, you have highlighters and markers. I love them. I know it seems simple, but having something to maybe create what's the art of studying, it makes it a little bit more fun. And this can be a fun process. So again, we're building our pack, and in there we have those things. We also have maybe a book that came with your course. Of course, you have your laptop or your tablet, your cell phone, whatever you're using to actually watch the videos. Get some headphones so you can really focus in. Now, there are distraction blockers that you might want to consider. Mine is, I take my phone, I turn it over, I turn the sound off. I actually might even put it in my bag because I don't want it to call my name basically when I'm studying because that happens to me. The social media calls my name, the TikTok, the Instagram, it wants me to pay attention to it, so put that away. Another thing I do is I set a timer. For this many minutes, I'm gonna focus on this one thing, or I'm gonna watch this many modules, or I'm gonna set an outcome for my studying time. I have an hour to study, I'm gonna try to do this many modules, and I know I'm gonna know this one thing when I'm done with this study session. So set your outcomes before you go in. Things you might want to do is do the practice exams. Lots of the courses come with quizzes at the end of each module, and then they have practice tests at the end. Some of the in-person classes that you do will actually require you to take a practice exam with them and pass it before you are able to go take that state and national test, which is also, I think, a great idea. Make sure you're better prepared before you go. You can also download all kinds of practice quizzes and tests to take before. Another thing you're really going to want to focus on for the state portion of the test is the math and the vocab. There are very specific rules and regulations for each state, and that's really what the state test focuses on. You may not use this information in your day-to-day selling of real estate, but they want you to know it when you start out. So there may be very specific vocab and math problems that you have to do. I've heard some feedback about people in the math portion where they say they're not good at math. Neither was I. Really, in fact, it's not my strongest point. But if I can pass the math portion, so can you. And this is how you do it. You do it a little every day. Just a little. A couple math questions. If you don't know the answer, ask someone to explain it to you. If that doesn't make any sense to in your head, ask someone else to explain it to you, because maybe the way you think about the math problem isn't the way someone else thinks about it. I know this because when I put math questions up on my TikTok, there's 5 different ways to answer that same math question. That's crazy. There's only one answer, right? But the way you solve it in your head, it may be different than the way I solve it. So maybe the way they're teaching you on your course doesn't make sense in your head. Go somewhere else and see someone else work out that same problem. So that's another tip. So you have your study pack, you have your location where you're going to study, you have it time block, you have it written on your calendar. This makes it so you have a specific focus of how long you're going to study, when you're going to study, where you're going to study. And I also want you to set the date that you're going to take your test as soon as possible. Finish the course as fast as you can and then go sit for that test. Even if you don't feel prepared, you're never going to feel prepared. Just go do it as fast as you can. And if you don't pass, you could always take it again. Just get there as fast as you can. Have questions? Let me know. I'm also going to give you a tool, a checklist of things you might want to do when you're studying for your test.